Welcome back to episode 114 of AyyScare Plays Front Office Football 8. In case you are just tuning in or you've skipped a couple of episodes, we are the general managers for the Jacksonville Cougars. We are on a little bit of a couple of down years here. We're coming off of a season where we went 4-12. However, I would say that we had one of the best rookie drafts that we've had so far. To give a quick perspective here, here's our scouting report. And if we look here, defensive end is looking to be potentially the best player on our team. We got an outside linebacker who's also set to look really nice. We got a new rookie quarterback who's looking to be very good. And then on top of that, we also got a really good running back 2 drafts ago, an inside linebacker last draft, a guard last draft, another defensive tackle, and a fullback. So, simply put, we are lining ourselves up, I think, for a great run as we finish out this series. So, just a reminder, this series, its goal is to go for 20 episodes, and then we are cutting it. And if there's people that want to see more, at that point I'm going to start a new series with a new team and do the same thing over again. So, counting this episode, I guess we have 6 episodes to go. So hopefully we will actually make a good playoff run moving forward here. Also, I tend to record 1 or 2 episodes beforehand. So on my last episode that I uploaded, I got a comment from somebody named Steel Stone who linked me out to 1 or 2 videos about drafting in this game. And I would say some of it I knew, and a lot of it had to do with ways that you can kind of use third-party tools or export CSV files and kind of pull some additional numbers for the players. I definitely learned a thing or two, but I don't plan on getting into the drafting that intensely. Maybe I will in the future, but at least for right now, I kind of like the way that I'm currently handling the game, personally. That being said, though, I watched those videos and I definitely did pick up a thing or two. So we'll see if we can implement that moving forward here. Also, in case you're wondering, I have no idea why your comment isn't actually showing. I got a notification that somebody commented, but I can't even see the full comment because the notification doesn't let me see the full thing. But I'll drop that. And let's get in to our next season here, everybody. So here we go. Oh, one thing that I did want to mention, we might be losing our kicker to free agency, or not to free agency, to retirement. And we also are probably going to be losing Watanabe. Watanabe, as a reminder, he's the tight end that's been really good for us, been with our team since almost the beginning of the series. He's actually 3rd ever for Jacksonville receiving touchdowns. But he's getting up there in age, and I noticed this when I was looking over the stats. Even though he's a tight end, he ended up being our starting fullback this year. So normally when you see position changes like that, they're rounding the corner. We might also be losing this guard, so we might be losing a couple things here to retirement, so we'll keep a close eye on that here in a second. All those numbers were terrible. What can you do? All right. Other thing, even though I really do like our coach, I think that he came up on our team and things like that, I am probably going to be swapping him. We haven't made playoffs now in 5 years, and we've had 2 extremely bad years. So in real life, no coach is surviving that. And I think it's going to be the same for us. So let's see if he actually still ends up being top rated. But I think even then, I'm probably going to swap things out here. So he is considered still the best option, but he's tied with this guy. Let's take a look. I like this. This guy has a little bit higher motivation and discipline. And actually, all of his bars are really nice. Not too high on the player development, but everything else I really like here. So he's been a head coach for 3 different teams. Or no, he's only been a head coach for 1 team. And they haven't done great, but I think ratings-wise, this guy is still a better option for us. So we're going to go ahead and swap over to Parker Wolf as our head coach. Now, our offense has been absolutely terrible. So part of this is the fact that we are running a very young quarterback now. But let me just take a quick look here. I feel like we probably should keep the same guy here. Let me check one thing, just because once again, I always get this confused. I don't know why this thing just absolutely hates my dual monitors. Okay, let's see here. Offensive philosophy. West Coast, I believe, does a lot of running and shorts, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so finesse, short slant. Doesn't do a lot of short passing or long passing, which actually might be an issue because our new quarterback specializes in long passes. So maybe we should look at matching those. Let's see. So spread. What happened to my help? Spread. Okay, I think that, technically we should probably look, because I think our running back is also considered power run, would be my guess. We'll check that here in a second. Let's actually take a quick look at our starting running back, who should be Alejandro Forbes. And actually, his bars are kind of even across the board. He doesn't really, yeah. All right. So with that, let's take a look. So unfortunately up here, we basically only have the option in terms of best suitable rating. We actually don't really have one that fits the play style I want it. Smash Mouth, I think, is one that could work. Let's double check that real quick. What the heck? Oh, there it is. Smash Mouth. So that's going to be a lot of power running and long passing, which kind of falls into what I think we want. So let's take a quick look at him. And he has decent play calling. He's a young guy. Let's give him a shot. I don't know how much in this game the play style matching with your quarterback actually matters. Again, play style is something that's new in 8, so something I haven't really been able to mess with too much. So even though that guy was not highly rated, we're going to give him a shot. Our defense has fallen off of a cliff in recent episodes, but a lot of that had to do with we had a terrible quarterback situation for a year or two there, so I don't think that we can really blame that. Let's see, that guy's bars are terrible. That actually looks semi-decent. Actually, I think our head coach, or assistant, I think we're just going to keep him. Select him. And we have top strength. All right. That's done. Let's take a look at 2 things. We're first going to check who potentially left. So let's go to... Also, just so you guys know, I've been thinking about it. I think after I wrap up after episode 20. I think I'm going to do a bonus episode where we just dive more deep into the stats that we've kind of been glossing over or that I haven't been showing live, things like that. So that should be an interesting episode. So Watanabe did retire, and one of our starting guards retired. Okay. Let's see. We have 100 million this year to mess with, so that's good. Let's see if there's anybody here that we're definitely overpaying on. I'm only paying him 9, so I don't mind keeping him 1. Ricky Blair, we are paying him 14. Let's go ahead and cut him. He did not do much for us the past 2 seasons, so we should be able to find better. This is Nicholas Patino now. Nicholas Patino, just a quick reminder, he was one of our draft picks that absolutely boomed for us. He's played almost every single game. He's consistently gotten tackles, good passer, defense ratings. He actually puts up a decent amount of sacks for a cornerback. He gets normally a couple interceptions a year. And his bars for many years were like 90 plus, basically across the board. He fell off, I believe it was just last season. And with that, there does become the question of, is he still good enough? And are we going to be overpaying for him at this point? Chances are he's not going to be our starting corner anymore. That being said, though, he still gets a 100 on special teams. So I think that is something that we should keep in mind. The other thing, the scouting ratings are not 100% accurate or anything like that. So if we look at just his overall stats, he played 13 games last year, still got 2 interceptions. He only went for 36 tackles, which is the lowest of his career. I'm not going to cut him right now, but we'll see if we can restructure his deal. Hopefully that will pan out for us. And I'm not paying him much at all. I feel bad for KC Burnett. I think he's really never had a chance to really play, and his bars started higher and they've slowly been regressing, but I don't know if that's just because he's really never had the chance to play or if he's just, not good. That being said, there's no way I'm franchising him. That would cost way too much money. So it looks like for this season, we're going in with about 100 million to spend. And I believe that we're going to have a top 5 pick. So hopefully we can make some big moves here. Before we get into free agency, let's open up this just for reference. And we're going to begin. All right, first and foremost, we have pick 3. Awesome. All right, so number of really good options. I'm not going to bother interviewing yet. Let's go through a couple of rounds of free agency as always, and then we'll stop in here. Just looking at this, though, there are so many players that I'm like, I would love that guy. I would love that guy. I would love that guy. So let's see real quick what we are going to be targeting. So it looks like our defensive line is absolutely stacked. We don't need to worry about that too much. With the rookies that we got last year, our linebackers look good. Our secondary is definitely the biggest concern for our defense. Our offensive line has 2 really good players on it, but we could probably use a pick or a lot of money here in free agency on a boost to our offensive line. And we could also use another offensive weapon, specifically wide receiver. One of the things that was said in one of the draft videos that I was recommended was they were saying that at least for the online leagues, which are probably way more competitive than what I'm doing here, targeting wide receivers is something that they always do. They were saying that the game seems to generate a lower amount of star wide receivers than some other positions. So I did notice in that draft preview, there was a wide receiver towards the top. So that might be what we go for. But let's go through a little bit of free agency and figure that out. All right, so first we have to re-sign players on our team. Kicker. This is our guy. We're just negotiating him regardless. And he's never really had a terrible season, so happy on that front. Here's a center who just started last year, and he had an okay season. I'm not going to say he had a great season, but look at that. He's asking for almost nothing. So we'll go ahead and lock him in for those 5 years. Here is one of the linebackers. Now, he's actually done basically nothing. Has a total of 12 tackles across 3 seasons. That being said, his rankings are decent. Okay, I'm just going to re-sign him because he's not asking for much at all. Let's see. Here's a safety. He went for 64 tackles last year. He didn't get any interceptions, though. How much is he asking for? Not asking for much. We'll go ahead and re-sign him, especially with how weak our secondary is. I don't want to lose somebody that is, quote-unquote, one of the best on our secondary, but that's not saying much. We'll go ahead and re-sign this running back. Even though he's not our starting running back, it's good to have a little bit of flexibility there. There's a couple of tackles down here that I'm going to re-sign. Actually, we got the one that I was really wondering about. And we'll go ahead and re-sign our long snapper. All right. If we look here, there are a ton of players coming up next year that we're going to have to re-sign. So let's actually try to fix or extend some of these contracts. So nose tackle up here. Not asking for much at all. That's a great restructure for us. This is our quote-unquote star running back that we used the 11th overall pick on. So far, he hasn't done great. Let's see what... So he's willing to extend for almost no money, so let's go ahead and do that. And let's look at... Who was the player that I said we needed to... Patino. Where is he at? Nicholas Patino. Let's see what this guy will do. Okay, so... Let me just make sure I understand this deal. So this would save us... This would save us like $14 million this year. We would end up paying him more next year. Or no, we would still save some next year. And then he would lock in for another year for us. Only thing I'm thinking, I'm not opposed to this because I think this is a better option for our team. It's just if these bars are accurate, I don't know if I want to lock this guy into a 3-year deal. We might actually just leave him where he is and see how he does this year. We're definitely overpaying for him this year if these bars are right. But you know what? He's been a proven starter for our team for like a decade. So let's not think too much about that. These bars might change, and we'll see how the year goes for him. All right. All right, what do we have available here? All right, so I think targeting one or two of these corners is probably going to be a requirement for us. Based on grade, like I definitely don't need a defensive tackle right now. I have two very good ones, and we run a 3-4. We're fine on running back, and we have some money, so let's go ahead and try to figure this out. This guy's 27. Not asking for much at all. He's actually not even asking to be like a top 20. What do his stats look like? So last year, he started every game, went for 2 interceptions, 51 tackles, and had a pass defense rating or percentage of 76. I wonder why this guy's going for so cheap. Huh. Very interesting. I mean, don't get me wrong, like his numbers aren't like star-studded, but it seems like he would at least be asking to be paid like a top 30, and he's not even asking for anything close to that. Now, this might mean that there's going to be a bidding war, and we're not sure what other teams are actually going to think about this, but if the computers are thinking anything like me, this guy's asking to be paid way too little. So let's try to make sure we lock this guy in. Even if we pay him more than he's asking for, he's still an absolute steal at this price. So 4 years, 42. Let's bump this to 13, and then 4 years for 45 million. Let's see what the computers think. And then we might target like this corner and outside linebacker. We'll take a look at their stats here in a second. Okay, cool. We did get him. So that is good for us. And like I said, we're not even paying him to be a top 20. And his stats looked like, I would say he's at least a starting guy based on his stats. So, so now let's take a quick look here. Game says we need corner, defensive tackle, safety. So yeah, the game is like you need to boost your defense. Let me actually go back to that for a second here. This outside linebacker did very well for a rookie. His bars look awesome. Our other one, very good season, very good bars. And then we actually have this guy down here who is also very good. And we have 3 inside linebackers in the 50-plus range. Very interesting. Let's just see. This guy's stats are nuts too. And this guy's coming off of basically 2 100-yard seasons. He also puts up those sacks. He has decent hurries. This guy's probably asking for a lot. 26 outside linebacker. So he's asking to be like a top 10 or so paid. That's actually hard because I kind of want this guy, but at the same time, I feel like this is a position that we really don't need. I mean, when you're an outside linebacker and you're getting 113 tackles, that's really good. And look, he's pretty consistently at like 4 sacks too. This guy's pass coverage. He also had a season running off with 5 interceptions. But this guy looks really good. Let's take a quick look at that corner. All right, this guy, decent last 2 seasons. Main thing I'm looking at though, this guy's a 100 on both punt and kick returns. That's something that I haven't really been paying too much attention to be quite honest. is how well our return game has been going. But if nothing else, I mean, I think that this could be a good guy to add into the mix. And once again, he's not asking for much at all. So let's at least lock in this guy. $3 years, $33 million. That is dirt cheap for a good cornerback. So how much money does... I still have the money to put in an offer on this outside linebacker. I might actually just do it. I'm going to bump up his signing bonus a little bit. And then I feel like all three of these people that I'm targeting, I feel like are all asking to be underpaid. $92 million, 3 years. We got both. That's going to basically end our free agency right now. Now we're going to focus on our draft and the late free agency. Let me just make sure that there's not another position on here that stands out. I mean, we could let's take a look at that wide receiver in the draft. Yeah, because I feel like just based on grade, none of these guys would really be a huge upgrade to what we already have. We already have 3 wide receivers in that 50 range, so I don't feel like this is going to boost us too much. We could look at getting one of these tackles. If nothing else, it should give us a little bit more reliability on our line. I'm going to go ahead and give this guy an offer. Just for money purposes, I'm going to see if this guy will do a 2-year deal. That way, I'm not locking in too much because he's not that highly rated. So if he ends up like dropping, I don't want to be locked into a big deal with him. All right, he did sign with us. Perfect. Yeah, so right now we have no tight ends. We still need a wide receiver. We need a punter and a safety. Now, we're only going to be able to target one of these. Let's go to the draft for a minute. So, if the theory that I listened to in the other YouTube video combined with the fact that we need a wide receiver, I think that this is the guy that makes clearly the most sense for us to target. So, his bars look crazy. We'll interview him. He's listed as hard to read, but you know what? I think this is a clear pick for us. He's also 20, so young wide receiver. Only thing that I'm a little bit worried about, we have pick 3. There is a slight chance that he goes before our pick. So in that case, we do want to have at least another player that we can target. Let's see. Next wide receiver is this guy. His bars actually look decent too. He's considered as scouted. So this is big if here. If Jamal Lindsay goes before our pick 3, I think that I might trade down 1 or 2 slots and then hopefully still get Percy McKnight. But once again, just to cover our bases, let's interview 1 or 2 other people in a position that we need. At pick 3, I'm not going to be targeting a tight end. I might target this safety, though. Bars look really nice. As scouted. All right. And then we could also have a corner in our back pocket. Now, let's take a quick look here. Very good option. Oh, yeah, I mean, there are definitely picks here that we can go at 3. I don't want to use any more interviews here. Only one I might bother with is a tackle. Tackle. Yeah, because I mean, our offensive line could use a boost. That would at least keep our quarterback more likely to be safe and healthy. Hopefully, help our overall offensive game. I'm always on the line about using like a top 5 pick on a offensive lineman. Because to get the other tackle, I used a 114. No, I think we're going to target a wide receiver in the end here, unless it's like wide receivers pick 1 and 2, then we'll have to figure something out. But I think we know what we're doing here. So now we definitely need to figure out a tight end to bring in. So let's interview a number of the guys around here that should be available at the start of the second round. This looks like a nice blocking guy. He's considered very underrated. Now, his bars dropped lower than I would want, but he is considered very underrated, so we'll mark him. These bars look decent because they're very overrated. All right. Really good at getting downfield. I'm always on the edge with just the guy that has a bar for that. Very good for blocking, and he has decent receiving bars. We'll mark him. He would probably fall to like a late round, so he's a guy that's at least worth marking. Those bars are decent. Very overrated. All right. Let's take a look at 1 or 2 of these higher rated guys. Like, look at this. This is awesome. Darrell Ward. Issue is that he's probably going to go like mid first round. We'll see. If he falls to 2, I think we have like 2-4 or something. We're actually 2-2. So yeah, if he falls to 2-2, I might go for him. This looks like mainly a receiving tight end. Once again. Okay, so I think at 2-2, we'll probably target one of them. And then what else do we need? We still need safety. Let's see, at 2-2, probably at least the top 3 are going to be gone. Oh, okay. Dang it. Once again, this is one of those guys, I'm not entirely sure how to read this. Says very overrated, but his bars remained like really high. I don't know. We'll see where he falls. All right. So that draft gave us a good idea. We're going to need safeties. All right. We're going to put in an offer on this guy. This guy actually almost went for 100 tackles last season with 4 interceptions and a 84 pass defense percentage, which is actually really good. So we still have a little bit of money here. So let's try to lock him in. Okay, he's pending for us. Real quick, did Casey Burnett end up... He's still in free agency. Let's go ahead and offer him. Again, just because I think that he's a great backup for us. He hasn't had much time to play, but our coaching staff still seems to love him. So, okay, so we got the safety. And let's see if KC ends up signing with us. Still considered pending. Come on, man. Like you're not going to get a better deal than what I'm offering you. I'm just letting you know. Still pending. So we offered him 2 years for $7 million. This would actually be interesting. I don't think I've ever... Oh, there we go. He signed. Okay, never mind. I was going to say, I don't think I've ever had a player that reached the end of free agency without signing somewhere. I guess theoretically they could wait until late free agency, but I've never personally seen that. So I don't know if that actually happens in this game or not. All right. Here we go. We'll do it on fast for the first round here. All right, Austin with 1-1 goes top quarterback in the draft. Arizona at 1-2 picks up Gary Howard, defensive end out of Virginia. All right, now it's us. And listen, just based on the video that I watched, recommended by, I don't know if you're actually a subscriber or not, but recommended by somebody that watches at least that one video of mine. I'm going to do what they recommended in the video that you recommended me, and I'm going Jamal Lindsay, wide receiver, out of Tulane. Let's do it. All right, let's see who falls now to 2-2. All right, so first player that we have marked in red appears to be nowhere near the top here. What the hell? Okay, let's do this a different way, because I don't see a single player that we had marked. We looked at a number of tight ends, so one of those is still available. He's very intriguing. And we also talked about, yeah, top safety definitely went. Hold up, now I'm actually forgetting. What was the other? We interviewed a couple of corners, but they all went because they were all super high rated. All right, I just say we pick up the top tight end. We know we need a tight end. We do not even have a tight end on our roster right now. So I don't even actually view that as even an option. But we need to fill in that slot. There's another tight end here that is somebody that we had marked red. So let's go ahead and pick him up as well, actually. Now, there's probably nobody left that we had marked anywhere. Yeah. So now we get to mess around here a little bit. Eli Rhodes had a great 40 time, and actually all of his combines outside of B jump are blue. His bars don't look good. It's weird though. His combine numbers are very nice. What positions do we actually have voids on right now? We still need one tight end and a punter. That's what we absolutely need at this point. We can actually get both of those in late free agency though. So maybe this is now where we just start picking top remaining, or at least near top remaining. Like this defensive end looks very nice. We have two good ones, but look at that. Some of the rookies are already showing in here. Tight end, looking to be a 69. First overall pick right there, looking to be a 78. So that is absolutely fantastic. We'll see how those stick after the first couple of weeks. But yeah, so we have Miles Giles. Miles Giles. All right, so we have him. We also have Will Riviera. And then we also have Will Powell. That being said, throwing in another good potential pass rusher, I don't think it's going to hurt anyone. Oh, but wait, I say that. Look at that guy's ratings. Holy bejeebers. Hold up. We're absolutely going this guy. His combine numbers are fantastic. Those bars are nuts. Inside linebacker. Looks like he wants to play outside linebacker in a 3-4, which we're a 3-4. Let's do it. All right. Now we might want to lock in another tackle. Let's see. Strength. I feel like strength, agility. I feel like dash time's not that important as long as it's not complete trash. So this guy's bars seem to be, well, I'm not exactly sure how to read it, to be quite honest. Because I feel like endurance being really low is a very bad thing. So let's go with this guy. Actually, wait, there's one guy up here. His blocking strength's really low, though. Yeah, so let's go with this guy. All right. We don't really need a backup quarterback. We have KC. He re-signed with us. There are a number of running backs that are still here. I don't feel like running back is something that we specifically need. Ooh, look at that. Really high pass rush and run defense. And we did not get the defensive end earlier, so let's go ahead and get this guy. And then this actually could be a good running back to bring in. Really good at third down running and blitz pickup and speed to the outside. So this guy could be like a third down back for us for kind of short yardage situations. Let's go ahead and grab him. Let's take a look-sees at how this draft went. I actually think that we might have had a killer draft again. Oh my gosh. So a number of players did not end up anywhere near the top, but wide receiver, tight end, middle linebacker, all looking to be 67, 69, 78. A-okay with that. I would have loved to see a couple of those other guys appear maybe like in the mid-50s, but again, these numbers will all shift after free agency, so we have zero money to mess with. We actually might need to cut someone or restructure a deal here. What are we at? Because we still need another tight end and a punter, and we don't want this to get down to zero because then we're going to face penalties next season. Hey, Nicholas Patino. Fudge. All right, we're going to need to cut someone. Is Nicholas Patino the best person to cut? I'm not sure. I feel like Nicholas Patino still has stuff that he can bring to our team. So I don't just want to cut him just because he's, probably getting overpaid. Here we go. This guy's getting paid $9 million. Definitely he's not going to be starting for us this year. We're probably going to need to cut at least one more. What position do we have a lot in? We have... Actually... Oh, we have a lot of tackles, so we should probably cut a tackle here. Let's look at contract, and... It's only going to save us 3. This guy will save us 5. I actually like his numbers. Here we go. This guy... Actually, his numbers are actually decent from last year. But he has no endurance. We're cutting him. Oops. Yep, we're cutting this guy. All right. That gives us the money that we need to bring in 1 tight end and 1 punter. So we'll just take top punter on the board. And we could bring in a journeyed tight end, which this guy honestly actually looks like he could be a great replacement for Watanabe. He's not asking for much. Let's see if he'll sign like a 1-year all or nothing deal here. Oh, we have such little money to mess with. I'm going to offer him a 1-year, $8 million deal. Wait, what was he originally asking for? 3-year, $12 million. That's actually not bad. Let's see if he'll lock in here. I'm just going to offer him a little bit more than he's asking for. Okay, let's see. Methson and Stevenson. Who are they? Methson and Silverston. Methson's off the team, doesn't matter. Stevenson? Wait, was it Stevenson? He's probably disappointed because, well, actually that guy wasn't going to be our starting tight end anyway. Van Stevenson. Is that the guy? Hold up. I don't actually view that, and our young quarterback expressed excitement, so yeah, we're bringing this guy in. I don't care what that rookie tight end says. If they end up having a big conflict, then we'll figure it out. But I need a experienced tight end. I think is going to be a good thing for our team. So alrighties. Let's see. Did we get the punter? Punter's still pending on us. Come on, punter. You're not going to get a better deal. You're just not. Like I can already tell you're not going to get a better deal. Just sign with me so that we can move on with our day. There we go. Perfect. All right. We have no money to mess with this year. And I'll need to look. Next year, our money situation might be completely screwed. But, you know what? Let's do this thing. All right. Gotta simulate through. All right. Week 1, we're going up against Athens. We'll simulate the first week as always. All right, we won 23-10. Let's go take a quick look at our starting lineup here. All right, so Alex Baxter, he was the rookie quarterback from last year. He does have the starting job for us. We have a number of players. It doesn't look like, right now, none of our rookies are actually starting. Let's take a quick look here. Got Jamal Lindsay. Will probably end up coming in mid-season or in a game or two. Just through training camp, he didn't actually beat out the other wide receivers on our team that were a little bit more experienced. But it looks like our coaching staff still thinks very highly of him. And actually, a number of these guys did drop. Not a lot. He dropped, I think, 4 points. This middle linebacker, we're not actually starting him, but he looks like he'll turn out great. Yeah. Okay, so there were a couple of numbers that dropped, but nothing too drastic. We'll simulate to week 5. All right, we lost that week. All right. Put up 40 points that week, which is probably one of the highest scoring games we've seen out of our team recently. We're 3-1. All right. It's our bye week. We really don't have money to really mess with this year, so I don't know what we're really going to be able to do with the trade deadline. We only lost that game by 3 points. Athens beat us. Like I said, I don't think we really have money for the trade deadline here. Let's take a quick look at our team summary and just see how things generally are going. So our passing game is struggling, but our running game is actually doing very well this year. So that's a big plus. And it looks like our defense is a mixed bag. Again, our front seven holding down like a top 10 rushing defense, but our secondary is very all over the place. So kind of what we were expecting there. All right, let's keep things rolling here and see where we end up. That being said, I noticed that Burnett it looks like at least played significantly in the game. Alex Baxter did not get hurt, which means he must have had a very bad game somewhere. Maybe, yeah, it looks like he might have been replaced in this game. Threw 6 times, completed 6 out of 15 and an interception. That is an ugly stat line. But you know what? Every quarterback has their down game. We can't make full assumptions on a player based on one game here or there. It is a how did they do over the past 3 seasons kind of situation. All right, we're at 5-3. So we've already increased since last year. Very interesting. It looks like a team did move since I guess last episode, or at least it's the first time I'm noticing it. A team now just says California. That's interesting. I don't know if is there a big city named California, or is this actually referring to the state? It's weird that it would do the state since there are so many big cities in California. Not 100% sure. I can dig into that one though. All right, we're at 5-5. Going up against Dallas, who's also 5-5. We beat them. We're 6-5. Oh, we lost that game 7-3. Oh, that is rough. All right. All right, we beat Washington, so we're at 7-6. Let's run our old reliable here playoff probability predictor thing. All right, this is saying we got a 56% chance at making playoffs. We have 0% chance of getting a bye, but we have a 56% chance of making wild card. So let's go. Our final games are against Houston, New York, Indianapolis. So we end our season against one of the best teams. Let me just take a look here. So Indianapolis, where are they listed at in here? Oh, they're in my division. Okay. And then, no, I already forgot what the other 2 teams were. Houston and New York. Houston's in my division. Okay, we have to beat Houston. If we lose to Houston, that's going to be really bad. And then New York is... They're already out of the playoffs. Hopefully, they're just in a situation where they're tanking. Okay, I feel pretty good. The next 2 games are really important, though. If we can take the next 2 games, I think we'll definitely make playoffs. Even at 7-6, we're like 4th best in our conference right now. So let's see what we got. Against Houston, again, this is one of the biggest games we have. We beat them. Now we're up against New York. New York did win a game, it looks like. So they're not tanking. So we lost against them. And now we have Indianapolis, who is a top team. Only thing I'll say, though, they might not run full starting lineup. Yeah, they're already in with a locked bye. So I don't know if this game will actually do this, but my hope would be that means that they are not going to run a full starting lineup, which hopefully gives us a better chance. Here we go, fingers crossed. Drum roll, and they beat us. Fudge. All right. Well, if nothing else, we got back to 8-8. At 8-8, though, I think we still stand a shot at making wild card. It's going to depend how all these other games played out here. Drum roll. Nope, we didn't make it. Damn. All right. Well, we'll sim out the playoffs here. Indianapolis against New Orleans for the championship. Oh, New Orleans takes the championship 10-3. That is a rough Super Bowl. All right. Let's go ahead and save here. Take a quick look over how things went. All right. So Alex Baxter did end up basically playing a full season for us. Not great, but again, he's second year in the league, so I'm still going to give him at least one more year to develop here. It looks like the rookie wide receiver that we got is still looking to be really good, but he didn't really have a great season. Our running game actually did lovely. We were actually we'll say a top 10 running team this year, which is great. But you can see here, we were also like a bottom, I would say definitely bottom 10 passing team. Actually, I think the game tells us over here. Yeah, so apparently we were 6th in rushing, 31st in passing. And then our defense, kind of all over the place. But again, I think adding a star safety or corner would do us wonders. So we had an up year again. We did not make playoffs, but an up year. And I think we are slated for an absolutely stellar next couple of years here. We have nailed a number of great pickups in the past couple of drafts. So I think that even though we did not make playoffs, I think that we have the potential to make a couple of playoff runs before the series is over. Hopefully we do. Honestly, this series would kind of suck if we were like, oh no, we didn't make playoffs in the final 10 episodes. That would be sucky. But you know what? I'm uploading this. As I said at the beginning, I'm learning along the way here. If that ends up being how the series plays out, hopefully, if I do choose to do a second running of all this, I'll have learned from my mistakes and we'll end up doing significantly better. But thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you guys for the next episode. Till then, AyyScare out.